Hey guys, this is Simon with Caddis Fly Shop and Oregon Fly Fishing Blog, and I'm showing you a little leech that I like to tie for tailwaters. I also use it in spring creeks and it works really well. I tie in a very small size and it's really simple. It's just made of ostrich, so you get a lot of movement with it. It's really easy to tie, very quick, so if you lose it, it's not like you spent tons of time tying it. I've used it kind of all over. I originally designed it to fish the McCloud, and the weather did not cooperate for me on that trip with the water levels and clarity and stuff, but I did take it to a lot of other places that I'll talk about in the video, and it works really well. So I'll show you a little bit closer what it looks like and how we make it, and then you can tie some up and go fish them. So taking a little bit closer look at this, you can see it's tied on a very small hook. It's on the 5125 from Fulling Mill, which is one of my favorite little jig hooks. It's very strong. I've caught like a 25-inch-ish brown on this, and a lot of really big rainbows. So it's a very stout hook for how small it is. It has a wide gap, but its construction of the fly is pretty much just ostrich, some wire to hold it together. That's fluoro fiber on the back for a little hot spot, and then there's a little tiny bit of dubbing right up here behind a 7/64 silver slotted tungsten bead. So it's a relatively simple fly, yeah, like you don't take a lot of time to tie it, and yeah, it's just kind of like a guide style fly, I guess you could call it. It's very simple, but it does the trick. So the hook we're using again is the Fulling Mill 5125 number 20. It's not quite as small as a true number 20, and then the bead is a 7/64 slotted tungsten bead in either silver or nickel. You can do just about any color you want to. If you wanted to match it with like a pink hot bead, if you're fishing off colored water, that'd be great also. This is just kind of what I've always used for this fly. The full material list will be in the description below, whether you'll be watching on YouTube if you're watching this, but always we will put a full material list below. It'll also be on the blog, Oregon Fly Fishing Blog. But what I'm putting on right now is this is a material called Fluoro fiber. I found out about it because of Charlie Craven's Juju Batis for the legs. It works really great for little hot spots. I use it for little hot tags more often than other things nowadays, because it flashes a little bit more than just Antron or like a Floss. It's a really great material though. I use it on a lot of really small flies for legs or mostly for hot spots these days. So we're going to put a little tag back here. This is just a little hot spot. I fished this fly without the tag and it does okay, but I found that this just kind of helps a little bit. Might just be me convincing myself of something that's maybe I'm a little superstitious, I don't know. But I like that little hot tag. And so now what we're going to take is 2 pieces of ostrich, and it doesn't really matter if they don't match up perfectly, because when it gets wet they will hang down together, but you do need 2 pieces of ostrich, and I'm using that from a Montana Fly Company ostrich feather. And what I'm actually going to put in first is a little bit of wire. This is uni soft wire in extra small black. You also, I'm sure, could use the Nano silk that we're using in this fly, because it's very small, but you basically just need something to kind of secure that ostrich down in case it gets a little beat up. It'll just help with the longevity of the fly basically. But now we're back to this ostrich. We're going to take 2 of the pieces, don't need a whole lot, and we're going to just kind of even the tips up like this and then tie it in. And the reason I chose ostrich is because it moves a lot, and the reason I developed this fly, like I was saying earlier, was I was going on a trip to the McCloud, and that's a tailwater, and there's really big fish, and I wanted a stout hook that could withstand large fish and mimic the food source that a lot of fish in tailwaters eat, which is little leeches. They live in the lakes, and you know, leeches are okay swimmers, but not good enough where if they get too close to the dam, they can, you know, they can't fight that current. So often they get blown down and around. I went to the McCloud. The water was a crazy glacial milk color, almost the color of my base. And the visibility, I couldn't really see about that far underwater. So Unfortunately, I didn't get to test this fly as much as I wanted to where I developed it for, but I've used it in other tailwaters up in Washington, and I actually used it a lot in the driftless area in the Midwest, and this fly absolutely smashed there. There's quite a few leeches in those little spring creeks. So anywhere you find leeches, this is a really, really good fly. There's a couple tailwaters here in Oregon that I always have this thing with, and it is almost unfair. The fish just will not stop eating it. And when it gets beat up a little bit, sometimes you can use that tail, and if you do, that's kind of okay still, because often in tailwaters there's like little midges and stuff, and then it kind of just looks like a midge. So I've had fish eat it even after the tail gets busted off. So it's just one of my favorite flies if I'm going somewhere where fish get keyed in on really, really little stuff. So I was doing a little bit of talking, but we just palmered this up with both pieces, and then I'm going to do a couple of wraps just to secure this so it doesn't come undone while I'm doing this. But now I'm just kind of going to help this. I'm just kind of going to help this wire around like this. And I'm going to kind of wiggle it like this, not to catch too many fibers, because I do like that little bit of fluff up there, and I'm going to wrap it right up to there. And then what I'm going to do now is just kind of come around here with a couple of wraps. Yeah, trim this wire. And the last thing that I do just to secure it is I'm going to put just a tiny little bit of dubbing. This is super microfine dub from Hareline, but any dark dub will work. This is just to kind of help the bead stay put, basically. And this is in the color Trico, but any small black dubbing will work fine. We're just going to add a little color and then enough wraps so you feel like that this will stay together. A couple of whip finishes and we're done. This fly will get just eaten up a lot, so I do like to help out the I do like 3 whip finishes with this one, just to make sure it does not come apart. And on top of that, I do like to put my favorite UV resin Solarez bone dry right here in. I just like to put a drop in and let it kind of drip down a little bit, and then I cure it. And I never really have flies come apart after I do this. So this is my little tailwater leech. It's really good. I kept it a secret kind of all summer and tweaked it a little bit as I went, but I feel good enough to share it with you guys now. If you guys have places where you're going to fish it, comment below. I'd love to hear. If you tie some up, tag us on Instagram. We'll put your little fly up on the story. It'd be even better if you showed us a fish that you caught it with. But yeah, this is an awesome one. Comment below what else you want to see. Thanks, guys. You can get all this stuff online at caddisflyshop.com. All the links for all the stuff's below.